Hi, what's up guys? How are you guys doing? Welcome to my channel. So I researched about the Africa SADDEST countries. So the results are not mine, but they are online. So I think this is based from a white man's actually observation. So I think the points might offend some people, but just bear in mind, I was just passing the message. But if you are from these countries, sure to drop a comment and tell me. Africa is a continent known for its rich culture and diversity. The beautiful landscape and abundance of natural resources. However, behind the beauty lies a harsh reality for some of its countries. Today, we'll be discussing the saddest counties in Africa. There's a reason for their current state and possible solution to bring about change. So the parameters that they have used actually to rank these African countries to the rates of which they call it the saddest, we'll be discussing. So the saddest country in Africa are those that are plunged by poverty, conflict and diseases or diseases. These countries struggle with basic necessity such as food, water and health care. When there's a shortage of food, I think it makes people feel uncomfortable, people not happy about their country. Some of these countries have been in the state of conflict for decades, leading to widespread of violence, displacement and loss of life. Others are struggling with diseases outbreak which have devastating impact on the population. So apparently the first country that has been ranked to be the saddest country in Africa is Southern Sudan. So we all know Southern Sudan has been experiencing conflict since its independence, you know. So Southern Sudan originally was one country, and this country, when it gained independence, actually its currency, it was so strong than even the Kenyan currency. You know, the Kenyan currency in East Africa is the strongest currency compared to other currencies. But now when the conflict came in, like the currency for Southern Sudan lost its value. Let's see the point that they have given us. So Southern Sudan is currently the saddest country in Africa. The country gained independence in 2011, but has since been embroiled in civil war that has displaced millions of people and claimed the country's lives. The war has also led to economic collapse, the economy of the country to collapse, and widespread hunger. Over 60% of the population is facing severe food insecurity and malnutrition rates. And malnutrition rates are high, particularly among children. That's why we have seen like things like UNICEF, FAO come in and try to actually save the day. So if you're in Southern Sudan, please drop a comment and tell us, is your country the African saddest country, or is it just white man's idea or trash that must be put to an end? Google placed Somalia as the second country, which is the saddest country in Africa. Somalia is another country that has been plunged by conflict for years. The country has been without a functioning government since 1991, and the various armed groups have been fighting for control ever since. The conflict has led to widespread of poverty, hunger, and diseases. So the conflict has led to the widespread of diseases. It's okay. Let's continue. The country was hit by severe famine, which claimed the lives of about 250,000 people. I want to see the statistics where this one came from. So apparently, the third country is the Central Republic. The Central Republic is a country that has been in state of conflict ever since 2012. The conflict has displaced over 1.2 million people, and the country is currently facing humanitarian crisis. Over half of the population is in need of humanitarian assistance, and malnutrition rates are high among children. So this Central Republic, I think, covers also Congo. So we have been given Nigeria as the fourth country. So let's see about Nigeria. Nigeria is Africa's most populous country, but it's also one of the saddest. The country is facing a number of challenges, including widespread poverty, corruption, and insecurity. So we all have heard about the Boko Haram case. So the Boko Haram insurgency has claimed thousands of lives and displaced millions of people in the northern of the country. In addition, the country is also facing ongoing conflict between the farmers and the herders, which has resulted in violence and displacement. In Nigeria, there's been cases of Boko Haram. These are Islamic extremists, you know. I think these are people who actually make people see that Muslim are terrorists. Muslim are bad people because of some of these extremists. You know, extremists, this is a person that has gone very far. You know, I usually don't like the idea where American movies have shown like terrorists are all Arabs. Been given Democratic Republic of Congo as number 5 saddest country in Africa. So Democratic Republic of Congo. The Democratic Republic of Congo has been plagued by conflict, political instabilities, and poverty for decades now. The country has also been facing Ebola outbreak, which has further worsened the situation in that country. So we'll be going to look at the reasons for these saddest state in these the parts of African countries. Africa's sad state can be attributed to various factors, including historical, social, economic, and political issues. Here are some of the reasons behind African saddest states. So point number 1, number uno, moja, jambo, colonialism, you know, or colonialism, something like that. Don't mind my pronunciation. So many African countries were colonized by European powers, which led to the exploitation of their resources and people. The legacy of colonialism has had a significant impact on African countries' states or African current states, including poverty, underdevelopment, and political instability. Point number 2, corruption. Corruption is a major problem. Corruption is a major problem in many African countries, with leaders embezzling public funds and engaging in other forms of corruption. This has led to a lack of development, investment in the key sectors, including health, educational, and infrastructure. So this is one of the main thing that is affecting African countries. There's a musician in Kenya who once sang that tajiri atazidi kuwa tajiri na maskini atazidi kuwa maskini zaidi, which translates to a rich person will rise up his status quo and become more richer compared to the poor. So the poor will remain poor until Jesus comes. So a conflict, many African countries have been plagued by conflict, which armed groups are fighting for power or resources. Conflict has led to the displacement of millions of people, people, and has also hindered economic growth and development. So conflicts everywhere. Rwanda, Burundi conflict, Kenya, Uganda conflict. Like, it's there. Communities are in conflict with each other. Currently, like in Kenya, we are facing problem of bandits, you know. Yeah, cows are stolen, people's property are destroyed day in, day out. So these, I think, will just make our country to continue, or our African continent to continue plunging into the sadness or into poverty until we stop this bullshit. Lack of investment. Lack of investment. Africa has also suffered form of lack of investment in key sectors, including infrastructure, education, and health. So I think you have, like, some of my videos, you know, like in Africa, there's that extreme variation. There's that extreme variation. Like when you move some few meters or miles from the urban surrounding, you will find one of the saddest states. Take example of Nairobi. Nairobi is capital city, is seen as a hub, but some just few kilometers or few miles from the city center, you encounter like a largest slum. So lack of investment infrastructure makes many of the continent of African countries to be in that sad state. So this has hindered economic growth and development, leading to high levels of poverty and employment. So this, which brings the sad state or sadness for many African communities up and up. Apparently, they have provided us with, let's say, solution. So how to change the African sad state? How to change African sad state? Changing Africa's sad state will require a concerted effort, like a lot of effort from government, civil society, and international communities, societies, and the international communities. Here are some of the important things that can be done to change this narrative or this state. Can we have good governance? So point one, good governance. African government must prioritize good governance, including transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. Follow the rule in simple terms here. This will help to reduce corruption and promote economic growth and development. This is one point you can add if you have something to add. Investment. Let's talk about investment. There's need for increased investment in key sectors, including infrastructure, education, and health. I think we must come with a curriculum or ways in which we encourage African. Like somewhere Wodemaya said, the African education has taught us that we can't be successful without the white man, without Europe, without going abroad. Can we? So there's need for increased investment in key sectors, including infrastructure and education and health. This will help promote economic growth and development and reduce poverty and unemployment. Conflict resolution. Another thing is conflict resolution. Let's end these insecurities. Let's end this conflict that it's happening, that we are witnessing day in, day out. African countries must prioritize conflict resolutions, including mediation and peace-building missions or effort. This will help reduce conflict and promote stability, which is essential for promoting happiness among the African states. So guys, thank you so much for watching up to now. So if you have points, if you have critics, feel free to write it down. We shall go through them and come up with a solution or come out with the points that actually we feel will make Africa to be the happiest, or these countries to be happy. Remember, happiness starts with you, starts with your neighbor. If you're in conflict with your neighbor, apparently the whole country will be in conflict. So let's start by promoting peace. Let's start by investment. Let's start by ending conflict. Let's start by education system, and corruption, among other things. Anyway, thank you for watching. Till next time, bye.